Hello there, Brainwashed Zealots. This is Joshua coming at you today. Hi, we're going to do a Bible chunk today, and this is going to be straight out of Leviticus 18, and we're going to just read right through it, and I'm just going to explain everything I can find about it, alright? And Leviticus 18 starts out and says, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelt, ye shall not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. How does this pertain to us? Well, if we're in an unbiblical culture, maybe we shouldn't do the things that they teach us to do. Alright? Moving on. Ye shall do my judgments, and keep my ordinances, to walk therein. I am your Lord, your God. I am the Lord, your God. So that means whatever his ordinances are, which are in the Bible, whatever his judgments are, which are in the Bible, those are the ones that we're supposed to keep and do. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them, and I am the Lord. Live in them. He shall live in them, and I am the Lord. So, none of you shall approach. Okay, so here we go. So if you keep my statutes and judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I'm Lord. So he's saying, like, not only are we supposed to do them, but we're supposed to make them a part of our lives. None of you shall approach anything that is near kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. Now, this is basically a direct thing against incest. Now, he's going to go into great detail about what is incest and what is not incest. And the vast majority of 18 is about incest. Incest, in this terminology, anything that is incest and the term of fornication and incest are basically the same word, but it has a slightly different definition in the biblical times. Incest and fornication. Incest in our society is basically having sex with somebody that's part of your family, but fornication is basically having uncommitted sex. But in the biblical terminology, it basically means the same thing. Fornication and incest were a group term that meant with sexual sin. That was not adultery. Adultery was sleeping with another man's wife. All right. Okay. None of you shall approach any that is near kin of him, and to uncover their nakedness, I am the Lord. So don't have sex with your family. But he's going to go into greater detail. The nakedness of thy father, or the nakedness of thy mother, shalt thou not uncover. So don't look at your parents naked. She is thy mother, and thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife, thou shalt not uncover. Thy father's wife. So, like, if your mother and your father are one people, and then your father has another wife, you're not supposed to uncover your father's wife's nakedness. So don't sleep with your stepmother, or your father's other wife is basically what it says. Don't sleep with your father's other wife. That is not your mother. The nakedness of thy father's wife thou shalt not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. So your father owns her nakedness. So don't you sleeping with your father's extra wives. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother. See, he's making a distinction here. So it's either your blood sister or your stepsister, or your stepsister. Don't do that. The daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even the nakedness thou shalt not uncover. So he's like, listen, if they're related to your family in any way, shape, or form, even if it's by law, don't do it. No. The nakedness of thy son's daughter. Okay, if you have a son and he has a daughter, do not sleep with her, or thy daughter's daughter. So if you have a daughter and she has a daughter, don't sleep with her. Even their nakedness shall not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter. So if you have a wife, and your father has a wife, another wife, and she has a daughter, you can't sleep with her. So your stepsister, don't sleep with your stepsister. Or your half-sister. I guess it's half-sister. There you go. Don't sleep with your half-sister. She is, thou shalt not, okay. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter. Behold, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. Your aunt. Don't sleep with your aunt. Thy is thy father's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, your other aunt on your mother's side. for she is thy mother's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach unto his wife, she is thine aunt. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law, for she is thy son's wife, and thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. So he's basically going down the line. No brothers, no half-brothers, no step-brothers, no step-sisters, no half-sisters, no aunts, no uncles. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. Sister-in-law, brother-in-law. That is thy brother's nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither shall thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover their nakedness, for they are near kinswomen. It is wickedness. Okay, why are we going straight up here? Okay. Neither shall thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, or because it'll cause them to be in competition with each other. So if you, it says in 18, so basically if you have a wife and she has a sister, you cannot take her sister as a wife to uncover their nakedness besides the other in her lifetime. So the only caveat to this is if your wife has a sister and your wife dies, then you can take the sister, but not until the wife dies. All right? And besides the other in her lifetime. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to cover the nakedness as long as she is put apart for her uncleanliness. Somebody's shaving something. Cutting something, I think. But anyway, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is put apart for uncleanliness. What is this uncleanliness? This uncleanliness is a reference to her period. You're not supposed to have sex with a woman when she's on her period. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile with thyself with her. That is a straight up adultery. You're not supposed to sleep with another man's wife. Thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fires of Molech. Okay, what does that mean? Well, back in the day, they didn't have birth control. So when you had a child, what you would do is you would give birth to it. And if you didn't want it, you would sacrifice it to Molech. And you'd basically burn it to death. And it was a form of birth control. Yeah, right on. But back then, you weren't, today you're not alive unless you are born. Well, back then you weren't alive until you could, speak. So they could murder you as a baby. It's no big deal. It's just weird lines. People make strange lines, and it's irrelevant. But no, it's totally relevant. Don't let anybody deny that. Okay. Neither shalt thou profane the name of God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. So don't have sex with another man. Don't sleep with men. If you're a man, don't sleep with a man like he's a woman. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Don't have sex with animals. Neither shall any woman stand before the beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. So if a woman is having sex with a beast, those are bad juju too. Women are not allowed to commit bestiality. Defile not yourselves in any of these things, for all of these things the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. So he's like, listen, I am destroying these cities from the inside out. Do not do like they do. And the land is defiled thereof. I do not visit the iniquity thereupon it. The land itself vomiteth out her inhabitants. So he's saying, listen, I'm not judging these people. Their own actions are destroying them. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations. Do not commit these sins. Neither any of you of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. So even if a stranger comes into your land and he's doing these things, you're not allowed to let that happen. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. See, the land is cursed because these people did these things. That the land spew not you out also when ye defileth it, as it speweth out the nations that were before you. He's like, listen, you do these things, that land becomes corrupted and cursed. Do you not want to be a part of it? Just like in Sodom and Gomorrah, that whole land got slicked because of these abominations. For whosoever committeth any of these abominations, even the souls of them that commit them, shall be cut off from among their people. So bad people that do bad things are going to get cut off. Therefore you shall keep mine ordinance, that you may not commit any one of these abominable customs, which were committed before you, that defile not yourself therein. I am the Lord your God. Anyway, that is Leviticus 18, baby. I hope you enjoyed this. That was our Bible, what is that, Bible Chunks. I hope you had a great time. We'll do another one some other time, and hopefully tomorrow. I will talk at you later. You know I love God because I love virtue, justice, and salvation. Come check me out Saturdays at 10 o'clock in the a.m. and we'll have a Bible slam, and we'll go through the last bit of 1 Corinthians. It'll be great. I will talk at you later. Peace, loving, and forever. What's up?